Hi folks, Fanboys Forever. This is Brandon.
And this is Jared.
And we have another funny G.I. Joe video for you today. If you keep up with Fanboys Forever, then you've no doubt seen some of our G.I. Joe videos. We did a great discussion about G.I. Joe Retaliation. And I did a great repair tip video on vintage G.I. Joes. I will link that right over Jared's face for comedy. Today I have something much more, as if those weren't funny enough, this is 10 times funny. 10 times funnier. This is a new bootleg action figure. I saw an update on his tank that these were being spotted at Dollar Tree stores. This is Special Force Action Playset.
And as you will soon see, they are quite special.
Quite special, yeah. There are 4 of these, and I got this one. It's the very best. This is a bootleg knockoff fuzzy cast, if you will, of the Firefly comic book 3-pack mold from back about 10 years ago. This was a subset that Hasbro was doing where they were taking vintage sculpts and giving them new heads to make them more comic book accurate and more cartoon accurate. And this was the Firefly they did, and this is a very, very cheap imitation. Anyway, let's get into it, get a closer look of bootleg Firefly.
Mankind is on the threshold of the galaxies. A new hero has come forth to lead us into the future. Introducing the new G.I. Joe astronaut. He has lifelike hair and talks the language of tomorrow.
10 seconds to lift off and counting.
Go with him on daring missions like the Flying Space Rescue. Get the new G.I. Joe talking astronaut and collect astronaut adventure sets. G.I. Joe astronaut, now with lifelike hair from Hasbro.
Before we get started, let's take a quick look at the packaging. And it is very plain. It is what you would expect from dollar store plastic. It's got a very poorly applied graphic. There's just like a gun floating in air, which is kind of funny. Bubble, not as cheap as a lot of the dollar store bubbles that I've encountered before, so that's not too bad. And then just some basic legal information at the bottom. The back is basically plain, just has the title actually mirrored on the back in all black letters. And then nothing but a barcode, and again some more legal information. So not much to look at there, but it gets the job done. Okay, folks, here is Special Force Action Playset, and that's a funny nomenclature thing on a lot of these dollar store toys. They will always say playset, even if as a toy collector, and we assume most of you are toy collectors, you know that playset means one particular thing, and an action figure with accessories is not a playset. No matter what they may say. So that's always funny to me, but. Here we go. Here is Firefly. The figures in the series aren't named on the card back or anything, so we'll just call him Firefly. And he's actually the only one that looks anything like his G.I. Joe counterpart. If you're going to buy one as a G.I. Joe fan, this is the one that I recommend, but I honestly can't make any legitimate recommendation besides that. It's really, talk about bargain basement plastic, just absolutely terrible. It's completely hollow, and in fact, if you turn it around, you'll see on the back there are large holes drilled into the limbs in the back to save plastic. He does come with quite a few interesting accessories. These are actually all scaled up versions of vintage Joe accessories. You've got 2 different guns. This one. It's the basic assault rifle. They're actually, in the original releases, these had a hose that would connect them to the backpack, but he doesn't include one. I can't imagine what sort of terrible rubbery material it would be made out of, but he includes one of the vintage Joe walkie-talkies, and his backpack is removed. It's actually packaged unattached on the card back. He's got a cut at the neck, cuts at the shoulders, and cuts at the hips. 5 points. Hey, at least he's got as much articulation as the Retaliation vehicle drivers. Am I right?
Yes, that's a good point.
So, there you go. That's about as much as I can give him on articulation. 5 points. That's 20 cents a point. So not bad for the price. But paint, yeah. Just you can look at him. Look at those terrible cartoony eyes. Oh, and then he's got this big splash of flesh color on one side of his mask where it was sloppily applied. So, Firefly may really want to see that face, but I don't want to see this face anymore. So,
one good thing I can say about this is really for $1, I think that he's an okay value for $1 because he's really quite large. I know he's made out of the most garbagey kind of material imaginable, and there's no weight to them hardly whatsoever. But I have seen much worse knockoff figures for $1 than this. His height, he is a solid 6 inches tall, and if you are really desperate for a 6-inch version of a Joe character, I mean, you could do worse than repainting this Firefly maybe to look a little bit better. I certainly wouldn't count on that being a good version of this character, but
it's the truth is, if you wanted to take it and then fill in the holes in the back with some epoxy and paint him up right, he might be a passable 6-inch Firefly. But.
And all he would be a display piece, though, because you're not getting any movement out of this guy. No. However, I'd be lying if I wouldn't say that. If I didn't say that I was sort of anticipating seeing what else they do. I'm hoping these guys maybe do some more of these funny little Joe figures. They're kind of interesting.
You can imagine it's the beast from beyond, and nothing can stop it, it's Terron.
He's the command laser. I stopped him. Oh, he's on the move again.
Terron!
Here comes Stupid Joe Commander. Joe's light stopped him. Look, Terron's on the move
You can
again.
imagine it's the beast from beyond, and nothing can stop it, it's Terron.
Terron, the Beast from Beyond, comes with Command Laser, new from Hasbro. Super Joe Commander, sold separately.
Well, how about that?
Well, I think that the term Special Force is quite appropriate when it comes to this. Kids will force their parents to buy this very special Cobra Mercenary. I think that his problems are far beyond being an imitation G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot more going on. Probably something psychological to it, if I had to guess. Anyway, typically I can't knock a dollar store toy because you know what you're getting. But this is pretty bad. I will say, though, that out of the 4 that they have available, this is like far and away the very best one. The other 3 are even worse, if you can possibly imagine. So, gotta be pretty bad. I won't even waste $3 to buy them and show them to you. But if you just look them up online, if you really desperately have to see them, but I'm not gonna subject you to that kind of torture. So, Firefly, yeah, terrible. I know that GI Joes are $10 a piece right now, but this is not worth 1/10 of a normal 3 3/4 GI Joe. If you want my opinion. And I hope you do, because otherwise you probably wouldn't be watching this video. Folks, that's going to do it for us this time. We usually like to bring you videos that can bring you important information, or at least usable information. And this is definitely not that sort of thing. This is a gag, if you haven't figured it out by now. So hope it's been fun, and please subscribe and comment if you'd like to. Just tell us how crappy you think this figure is, if you would please, and we'd appreciate it. Make the description as funny as possible.
And we'll see you at the dollar store. Till next time, this has been Jared.
And this has been Brandon.
Later.